Hello, hello, Rib Lake Middle and High School. This is Miss Bedimlia. Today we're just going to go over some back to school information to make sure we're all on the same page. First up we need to do is celebrate some people. Our custodians, oh my goodness gracious, have spent so much time and energy here this summer. It's just crazy seeing the amount of work that they put into cleaning up our school and making it awesome for you guys. So please make sure and give them a thanks next time you see them. Huge thank you to Joanne in the district office, Tanya and Courtney for all of their work. They spent a lot of time here this summer, and so thank you to them. And please, when you see them, stop in and say thank you to them. Thank you to Mrs. Kamarik and Mrs. Rhodes. They have spent hours and hours and hours putting all of your guys' schedules together. And so please let them know thank you next time you see them. And then Mrs. Peterman and Gail with IT have spent hours and hours and hours getting our technology up and running. I think student Chromebooks alone take an incredible amount of time. So make sure and tell them thank you, especially tomorrow, which is National IT Professional Day. So make sure and reach out to them. We also need to welcome some new staff members. First up is Mr. Grubbs. He's our new district administrator. If you haven't met him yet, he has been amazing working with this summer. I really look forward to working with him a little bit more this school year. Mr. Nenig is our new athletic director. The O is silent there, so you say it Nenig. Mrs. Wanky is in the kitchen. And then in the middle school, doing health and Fayette is Mr. and Mrs. Nenig. They are husband and wife. They're taking on that role. So Mrs. Nenig will take mainly the health portion of that class, and then Mr. Nenig will take mainly the Fayette portion of that class. Today's the first day of school. Tomorrow's National IT Professionals Day. Monday you have off of school for Labor Day, so don't show up there. You can still sleep in one last day here. And then Thursday there is a school board meeting in case you want to do that really fun activity of the school board. New information, class schedules are not permitted anymore unless there's an emergency or a major error like you're in a class that you already took before. That'd be an important thing to change. Daily schedule, as you know now, you've already participated in half of it. We have a 9-period daily schedule. It is 8 classes, but we call PLT, which is formerly ELT, period 4 on the schedule. So that's why it's a 9-period schedule. Planners and hall passes, and in order to help manage and hold students accountable, we are going to have all students sign out hall passes in their assignment notebook. So if you didn't get an assignment notebook, and if you're thinking, I don't need an assignment notebook, I don't want to use one of those. If you ever want to leave any of your classes, you may want to pick up an assignment notebook. And so what you're going to do is in the bottom left corner of your weekly schedule in there, you, the student, are going to fill out the date, where you want to go to, and then what time you're leaving, and then a staff member is just going to sign, initial their name, and then when you come back into the room, they'll sign it again with the time. So hopefully this will help hold some of those students accountable who have been abusing leaving class. But if you are using your class periods responsibly, and emergencies happen and we have to go to the bathroom, and that's okay too, it will still allow those students to do that. Be prepared though. A lot of your teachers are going to be asking you to leave your cell phone in the classroom if you do choose to leave in the middle of class. If you do go to the bathroom, you should be hanging that assignment notebook in. There's these clear like file folder holder thingamajigs outside of bathrooms. Please put your assignment notebook in there instead of bringing that paper thing into the bathroom and getting all grody with bathroom stuff. As we talked about before, enrichment learning time, former ELT, is now called PLT. The theme is learn, grow, be better, and do better, and it's hopefully going to be a little bit more productive. Tomorrow you guys are going to do a getting to know you cheesy activity during PLT time, and then on Tuesday, when you guys come back, we're going to go over some more information on what that looks like. At lunch today, you guys are going to go over some lunchroom expectations, printing and copying. There is a colored copy protocol. It's nothing different than what we were following before. Essentially, if you're in a club or organization, you can make 10 colored copies. If you are just an individual student and have a color copy need for a project, you can have just one piece of paper for that. Our copying was getting a little high in the colored department last year, so hopefully this will help make sure we're all on the same page with that. If you're in the high school and need anything printed that's not in color, you will do that in study hall in the library. Your study hall supervisor will print for you. So do not ask Tanya to print things that are in black and white. At the middle school, your teacher should be printing everything for you. If there's an emergency, you may have to go ask Miss Courtney, but you should also not be asking Miss Courtney to print things for you. High school study halls are all going to be in the high school IMC to help with things like printing. It'll also allow students to check out books during that time. High school locker room, just as always, students should not be using the locker room other than those designated changing times for FIAD practice or games. Just keep in mind also you should keep all of your items inside of your lockers. You should not be leaving things out on the benches or the floors. They are tripping hazards. There is a virtual learning schedule this year in the high school for any students taking independent classes through NTC or OW. They are available in the IMC if you'd like some of those. Your midterm, quarter, and semester grade will take into account not only the percent grade you have in the class, but the percent grade you are complete. So if you're 50% done with the class and have 50% on that, it would really be like 25%. So ask Mr. Scheitauer if you need some help with that math. Lost and found, there's a clear lost and found box in both the commons and the high school in the entryway in the middle school. So we do not need to be bothering Miss Courtney and Miss Tanya and asking them what's in the lost and found all the time. We can just have the lost and found out where you guys can access it anytime you need. Student absences, just a reminder that students only have 10 parent excused days. That does not take into account a principal excused absence, which would be something like a doctor appointment, a dentist appointment, chiropractor, mental health counseling, anything like that. So just use those parent excused 10 days sparingly if possible. Plan accordingly with any trips, any sort of hunting experiences that you're going on. Please make sure if you are sick and have a doctor's note to bring those in. So those days do not count against your 10 parent excuse days. Just a reminder, you are the ones who are responsible for any work that you have missed. So make sure and reach out to your teachers about what you're missing. In the case of tardies, just remember that individual teachers and staff members have the right to define what is tardy in their class. So for one teacher, it might be if they can see you at the door, you're okay. And if for another teacher, it might be you need to be sitting in your desk with your workout, and that counts as being on time. So that is up to the individual teacher. If you have 3 tardies reported in JMC in one semester, you'll get 1 detention, and then every tardy following will result in another detention. Middle school detentions are served during lunch, and then high school detentions will be served before or after school. So not as much fun for high schoolers. Announcements and newsletters. We will be doing the announcements and the Pledge of Allegiance during 4th period daily. Announcements will continue to go out as an email to students and be posted on the school website. My hope is to create a video kind of like this one weekly each Monday for students to watch in PLT, but things do get kind of crazy and busy, and so I hope to, but we'll see how things actually pan out. Food services, meals, breakfast, and lunch are not free this year. Please, 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 if you think you maybe even could possibly be eligible for free or reduced lunch, please, please, please make sure and fill out that form. Not only does it help the school out and give us funding and access to a lot more programming, the more students that we have who have registered for free and reduced lunch, but it also helps students as individuals with things like grants, scholarships. It helps some families with insurance and things like that. So please make sure and fill that form out if possible. Women's hygiene in each of the schools, there's now one stall that has some feminine hygiene products, we'll call them. So huge thank you to the middle school girls who sat down and had a formal proposal. It was very impressive last year on having something in the bathroom stalls with you guys for those that are uncomfortable asking our secretaries for any sort of items that you need. Those are available to you. Please, please, please use those items sparingly and responsibly. I sometimes am supplying them with my own money, so please don't abuse that. Athletic passes, family pass 40, adult 20, student pass 15, and senior citizen is none of you, so don't even worry about that one. High school class dues, just remember if you're in the high school, you owe $15 per year, and those cover activity expenses like prom and graduation, and those can be paid in the high school office whenever. General policy reminders and updates. A few things here. First up, cell phones. Reminder that you may not, absolutely not, have your cell phone out visible using it unless you have explicit okay from a teacher. So you should not, sometimes you have your cell phone on your desk. Nope, it should not be visible. In the middle school, it needs to be in your locker. If it's in your pocket, even visible, the teacher's going to have you go put it in your locker. In the high school, you can use it during your lunch period and your passing periods, but it should not be visible inside of the classroom. Teachers, could you please just pause this video? Real sorry if you have to get up and walk to your computer. But if you don't mind pausing this video and then going over the stages of consequences that we all agreed upon, that would be awesome. RVA and homeschool students, there are policies now in our handbook for you guys to follow. Please check those out to get clarification on some things. Just a reminder to seniors, in order to participate in the graduation ceremony, you can miss no more than 7 days, and that's parent excuse days either semester in order to walk. Dress code, just a reminder that you need to be respectful with your clothing choices. You cannot promote, advertise alcohol, illegal drugs, tobacco, nicotine, criminal activity, including weapons, criminal gang affiliation, profanity, pornography, or violence. Just a reminder that in regards to coverage, you should, if you draw an imaginary line from armpit to armpit, you shouldn't go any lower than that. Straps, just a reminder that they should be thicker than 3 fingers, and then bottom should be lower than your fingertips extended to your sides. Caps, hats, and hoods and bandanas should not be worn during school hours. And yes, I said hoods if you missed that. You should not be wearing your hood in school, and that will be enforced. Displays of affection are limited to single hand holding, so keep it to yourself. Bags, including backpacks and handbags, should be in your locker. You may not carry a bag to class with you. Even if it's the end of the day, you may not carry a backpack. If you are leaving during school hours, be sure to sign in and out in the office if you're leaving for a reason other than a scheduled class. Please don't prop doors open. Please do not pass buses when they have their lights out. Please do not turn right out of the parking lot after school, especially the student parking lot there. Reward days, just a reminder, in order to participate, you need to be passing all of your classes, and you need to have all of your work in for those. Open campus lunch, just a reminder, we do not have an open campus lunch. You should not and cannot leave at lunchtime, even with parent permission, for the purpose of getting a lunch. Student sales, you may not sell items out of your locker. That's actually a federal crime to do things like that, but it is in our handbook as well. In order for a guest to attend an event, they can only be out of school for 1 year maximum. And you remember, you need to fill out an event guest pass, and those have to be turned in 2 days before an event minimum. So I was kind of lenient on that this last year. I won't be as much this year, so keep that in mind. And then remember that our school is open from 7:45 to 3:40. If you're coming for a time other than that, you need to be supervised for something like a practice. You cannot be here before or after school without supervision. So those are just a few rules and policy reminders. Overall, that's just a little bit of information. Hope that helped make sure that we're all on the same page. I thank you guys so much for listening. And please let me know if you have questions on any of this. Thanks, guys.